Guys, I know I should be the one most responsible one here, but I'm sorry. Okay, so can we begin?
Yes.
I'm sorry with my hair, I just took a shower. So, Kajal, can you check if we are recording the session?
Yes, I have already started recording it the same way I'm doing yesterday.
Okay,
So, yes, you can start.
so yeah, I think we should begin with the session now. So, first of all, welcome to our guest today. We are honored to have you here, Vaishnav. And
Thank you, Manav.
for the convenience of all of us that are here, I would like to get a very brief introduction of yours. So, would you do the honors, please?
My name is Vaishnav. As you guys know, I am from fashion department. I study in Amity, and I'm assuming all of you are in foreign languages. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. All right. All right. Cool. So that's just about me.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall I begin?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, very good evening, Mr. Vaishnav. I'm Kajal Rani and I'm from German department. I'm currently pursuing BA German honors from MIT University, and I'm really honored to have you as our guest today in this podcast on karma. So
Thank you,
I'm
Kajal.
really curious. I'm really curious to get a deep insight in this topic from you, and I'm very curious about your responses.
Thank you, Kajal. Even I
Over
am.
to you, Sunny.
What?
Yeah. Take your time. If you are okay, Payal, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Uh, hey, Vaishnav. Hi,
High five.
I'm Payal Rawat. Okay, I'm Payal Rawat and currently studying in Amity University.
Okay.
Lovely. Okay.
What about you, Chandni? Are
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I am Chandigri. Currently, I am pursuing BA French Honors and Research from MIT. I am in currently second year.
Okay. So, as for the convenience of all of us and the guests, so this here myself Manavas, and I'm a BA French honors student from University of Amity. So yeah, I'll be hosting this event today. So should we begin the session?
Yeah.
So to be to make you understand how the concept of this thing goes, we'll be coming up with specific questions that we've been asking our other guests as well in the previous podcast, just so that we can clearly notice what are the patterns of the thought process and perception of people about the karma and how they go about it every day. And how the different kinds of occupation and work environment influences their perspective when it comes to karma and how they go about it. So yeah, thanks for the thumbs up.
There is
So the
some sort
first
of
question,
noise. There is some sort of noise, unnecessary noise.
uh, no, it's not from Vaishnav's side.
Others
I
mic
mean,
is on mute.
Wait.
Can you hear the noise?
No, now it's gone. Yeah, now it's gone.
Yeah.
So the first question that I'll be coming up with. So first of all, I want to hear from you, Vaishnav, as our guest. Mr. Vaishnav, should I call you now? So what are your thoughts about karma? What do you think about?
Spiritually, I practice Buddhism. So, karma is the main aspect of how my religion even functions. As you know, that Buddhism is almost semi-atheist belief. We don't have a god, but we believe that the God is within us and God reflects from our own actions. So, the more good we do, we are basically praying to God in that way. And more bad we do, we are kind of worshipping the Satan in that way. I mean, technically the scriptures don't say that, but karma is the major factor of my religion, and that's the entirety of Buddhism. So that's my perspective.
Okay, that was very clear. So we will go about the first question that we have from you. So the first question that we have: what are your thoughts about the accumulated karma and how it influences our future?
Accumulated karma. So, I mean, I just want to clarify. I mean, when it comes to karma, there is generational karma as well, and then there is the person who actually does it. So, is it from an individualistic perspective or is it generational?
It's from an individualistic perspective. So I'm sorry for that.
Okay, it's an individualistic perspective. So, I personally believe like if a person have done certain action, right, he or she must have been definitely been aware of the consequences of that action, right? Of course, at the end of the day, everyone has a moral compass inside them, and if they are doing a particular action, they know if it's good or bad. And if they think they have done bad, I don't think so. It's accumulated karma. I think they just know it's going to hit them, right? So I don't think so. Like you're going to suffer for your actions. I don't think so. There is escaping karma.
So does that conclude that how people think that because a lot of people have this perception going on that karma is actually a reward and punishment system. So do you agree with it?
I mean, not really. I don't think so. There is a reward which is a moral desert. You gotta be good because you are good, because you're a human being.
Sorry to bother. Sorry to interrupt. I have a question. So generally we have heard that when something that I haven't done, maybe my parents did in their life in the past. Suppose a man who did something wrong with a girl. Okay, so now the girl curses the man that the day will come that the same will be occurred or the same will be happened with your daughter. So now the daughter is gonna take the reward or punishment for the sin or the deeds committed by his father. So what do you think about it?
I personally don't. I personally don't believe in such concept because I feel like karma is a very individualistic thing. I don't think so. Like just because the father did something, the consequences are going to hit on the child. I don't think so. That's how it works, right? You gotta, I think it hits you back. You do bad, you get bad.
But can it be happen कि मुझे like I will be hit by the punishment or the karma, or I may feel the same suffering, I may feel the same pain when the same is happening with my own daughter. So don't you think that this is the punishment what I got for my commitments?
Why would your daughter be suffering for your sin, Kajal?
Uh, like
Aren't you the
usually we
one
have a
who's
curse
supposed to be
system.
paying for it?
But this is what I have usually seen कि ऐसा होता है. Like people usually curse each other's children and grandson, even grandsons, that whatever happening, whatever you have done with me will be done with your generations. So what do you think about it?
I personally don't believe in curses. I don't think so. It works. I don't think so. It works, right? I mean, you can personally like feel bad or like like if for example a person A has done something bad to me, I can like maybe like oh my god he did this to me. I can feel about it. I can feel emotions about it. But even if I curse his future generation, I don't think so. It's gonna hit because his kids or her kids or their kids, they're innocent. Person
Yeah.
A did the thing to me, right? So.
Okay.
So I think we should go about our next question. So yeah, the next question that I will be putting forward right now. Do you think karma is a fate, destiny? Karma and fate and destiny are the same thing, or is there a very thin line that sets them apart, or are they the same thing?
Uh, like how you know that a tree comes from a seed, I feel karma is basically the seed, and the tree is basically your destiny. So, as soon as your karma, like whether it's good or bad, it grows up, that shows how your tree has resulted in. So, I think it's karma that leads into destiny, and destiny can be changed through good karma. And yeah, so I don't think so there is a fine line because karma at the end it shapes what we call as destiny. That's what I personally believe.
And the fate?
Fate that can also be changed, I guess.
Okay.
Right? I don't think so anyone is born with a particular faith, inscripted on them.
Fate, F-A-T-E. I'm sorry if
Yes,
I made it
FATE,
unclear.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fate. I don't think so. Anyone is, birthed with that particular. This guy is gonna be this. It's karma adds up to it.
But if we take the concept of generational karma, then it does seems like that their fate, and somewhat in a very small context, has been decided by what their all generations have did in the past. In a very small context, it's there, but it still influences how the person acts in the real life. Do you believe? Do you think does that happen?
Yeah, of course. The class or the home you come from is very, very important, and the people who brought you up or have risen you is also very, very important. But at the end of the day, I personally think those are not the elements that define you as a person, because at the end of the day, you make your own legacy, not your parents or your grandparents or your ancestors.
Yes, that was very clear. So we'll be going about our next question. Some people stay, if you stay aware of your karmic cycle and how you're going about it, you can really change how it shapes your future. Because people think that if we try to change the current cycle of how we are going about our karma, it can change our destiny or the fate that we were talking about in past. So do you believe in such a concept?
As a Buddhist, no.
But I think
As
he's clearly stated that if we are going and doing good karma and good fate, we are doing good karma, it can definitely shape our destiny. So isn't that contradictory?
it is, but without a moral desert. You know, first of all, I feel like liberation is a very important thing. Keeping track of, oh my God, I'm doing good karma. Oh my God, I'm doing bad karma. You gotta be liberated from it. Like as I said, my very first statement: if you gotta do good because you are good, not because you gotta go to heaven or you need a good destiny. Right? You gotta do things because you are good. You're a human being. So.
Uh, and because a lot of people who think that they are good, and on the name of, if we look back at the history, I think it's not very related to the concept, but I think it's needed to be asked over here. If we look back at the history, everything that most of the people did on the name of good has turned into one of the most horrible things on the planet. So, how do you clearly define the statement of a person being good?
The concept of good is very, very, very subjective. Again, if you even go with moral philosophy as well, when we define ethics, it's very, very subjective. It's different in different cultures and different. But one thing common among every single human being is that there is a standard set of moral compass. At the end of the day, when you do something, something rings in you, whether it's good or bad. So I think it's your inner consciousness that decides whether it's good or bad.
As you mentioned in your one of your saying that the ultimate liberation at the end is the final goal. So how do you think the cycles of karma plays the role in your ultimate liberation, which we sometimes call as nirvana or mukti, moksha, according to different backgrounds that you're coming from? You name it differently. So, according to Buddhism, I want to know what is the perspective of Buddhism about the ultimate liberation.
Being detached from every single thing, even thinking about karma, living your life just like how you want without harming anyone or causing the least harm as possible. If, just honestly, just detaching from everything, even of the thought that whether I'm doing good or bad, even detaching from your morality. That is the ultimate liberation, I personally feel.
But it's very difficult nowadays, as I see in the world, if we go about it, we see that being detached from everything is almost seems like it's unrealistic. So, if this is not how we can pursue it, is there any other way that we can go about it? If there is.
See, many religions have defined liberation in different ways, yeah. And the religion which I practice, they have defined it as a very individualistic phenomenon, right? So I study fashion. I'm a Buddhist. right? And I feel like I'm okay, I'm doing okay. At the end of the day, deep down, I know that I am being okay. I'm fine, right? I'm surviving. And I feel that's the important thing. Even if you're from a very materialistic field, fashion is a very materialistic field, right? I know at the end of the day, I am doing something good in my field, right? And that is a very individualistic thing. My good might not be your good, but my good is my good. It's my consciousness, it's my awareness. And I think that is how you can actually reach liberation in this kind of life.
That sets me with a very huge question mark if I literally come on to it, because you says that my good could be not good according to you. Then who is literally setting up this thin line between your good and my good, and how are we actually determining if we were doing the good? Because people can be literally hallucinating about they are doing good, but it could be really harmful for everyone, for even from themselves. So how if a person has been hallucinating that they've been doing good throughout their whole life, and they think that they will be attaining the final liberation,
Okay.
and yeah, did you get the point I'm trying to say?
Can you go again, if that's okay?
Okay, yeah. So, because a lot of people think that they are doing good most of the time,
Okay.
but in reality, they are just hallucinating, doing hurting a lot of people at the same time, but they still think that they're doing good, right? Because in their
Okay.
own perception, they think that they are a good person and they are doing good. So, who is setting this fine line between the good and bad, and who is finally deciding if they have done good or not, and if they are going to attain the final liberation or not?
Yeah, about that. See, I can only provide you input from Buddhism because I
Yes,
personally don't
actually, we
practice.
need that personally.
Yeah. So, uh, when I first started practicing Buddhism, right, my spiritual teacher, who is a monk in Tibet, I asked him, like, is there any rules that I have to specifically follow? Because I come from a Hindu household, and my parents are Hindus, and there are certain rules and regulations that I had to follow when I was a Hindu. No non-veg. We were strictly a vegetarian household. Pujas, daily morning prayers. We had a lot of things. Yeah. So Hinduism, being a religion, it has a lot of rules and regulations, this thing, that thing, But when I came to Buddhism, right, I asked my spiritual, like my Lama. Lama is the spiritual teacher for us. I asked him, like, is there any rules that I have to follow in Buddhism? And he just said one thing. He was like, there is only one rule in Buddhism, that you shouldn't be causing any harm to anyone else or to yourself. That's the only rule. Least harm as possible. No harming yourself, no harming others. That's it.
So
But
you're
sir,
not.
what if somebody else is causing you harm? How would you react? What your karma would be? What ideology would lead you to perform any karma if somebody is causing you harm?
Okay, if someone is causing me harm, how would I react to it?
Yes.
Doing revenge is humanly, but forgiving is godly.
That was very crystal clear. I think we should go about it. Yeah, that actually answers all the questions right there.
But
So,
do you think that every mistake and every thing that people through whatever people caused us harm is forgivable? Everything in this world.
People are meant to make mistakes, Kajal. It's a very human thing to make mistakes, even if it's big or bad. They make it. Everyone makes mistake. And I think we should see it from that lens that even we make mistake and they're also human. They deserve to make mistake. And it's only through mistakes that people actually learn to evolve. Yeah. So
So do you even consider crimes as mistake, like murder and so on things? Do you think those people are forgivable because they are human and they deserve to make mistakes or crimes or whatever?
they are punished for it, for their crimes. They are put in
No,
prison.
they are not 100%ly punished for it. Some of them, no, most of them are not punished yet, and they are, strolling in this world freely.
I think, Kajal, that's a legal obligation that we are talking about if they are not punished, but they should be actually taken care of well. And society has made a system that they should be taken care of. If the society hasn't made a rule about it, I think then we would have been questioning that. Yeah.
No, but
But
I'm asking about what do you think? It is some kind of karma. It is the
okay.
crime committing by them is some kind of karma.
Hmm.
If they are being punished, do you think that they should be forgiven, or they punished enough? But you just said that they should be forgiven. Now you said that they should be punished and they are being punished. So isn't it contradictory?
Okay, if you're saying what if they kind of get away from all the legal loopholes and then survive the court and just be free, right? Okay, when a person makes a crime or does a crime, yeah, there are two circumstances. What made that person do that particular crime, right? Majority of the people who commit murders or rape or any sort of crime, they kind of have a troubled childhood or some kind of a mental illness. Yeah, that is one perspective. And let's say maybe trying to understand and resorting their mental illness and trying to understand them, being empathetic towards them might heal them. But the second scenario where a person with zero mental illnesses did a crime, that means a person A with zero mental illness killed a person, right? And he or she or they just, escaped all the legal loopholes. But at the end of the day, there is going to be a guilt in that person's mind. That person is not going to escape that guilt. Every day when he or she looks into the mirror, they know that they have killed an innocent person. That itself is a punishment, Kajal.
Okay. I must say that's a really great answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. I thought that this should answer the question. So yeah, now we go about it. A lot of people that we have previously talked to and interviewed, they have come to this thing that we should perform good karma. That actually leads us to a question that even if we are doing good karma, it still binds them. And because there's a difference that people think that bad karma is just like a chain made out of iron. That's the iron bondage. But good karma is kind of it still binds you, but it's a golden chain. So a lot of them come to the terms that they wanna get bondage with the golden chains instead of the iron ones. And what's your? We just want to hear your clear perspective on that scenario.
Oh, like people should be doing good karma or bad karma or the baggage they carry after doing bad karma.
Yeah, because even if we do good karma,
Mhm.
there is still a baggage that people have been carrying. So how do they really, even if they are doing good karma, how do they not carry this baggage and go about it?
Manav, that's why I clearly said earlier liberation, detachment is very important. First of all, when you're doing an action, the moment you detach or liberate yourself from the concept, whether it's good karma or bad karma, I think it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Because once you liberate, I feel like anything you do is good. Because you wouldn't do anything to hurt anyone or yourself because you're detached, right? So the baggage will be escaped naturally once you liberate yourself.
Can being completely involved in the life like we are, also we can practice liberation in that sense? Can we be completely detached to everything that we are doing and still be completely involved? Is there any way possible to do that?
The definition of liberation or detachment is completely subjective again. My liberation might not be your liberation, Manav. Yeah. Your way of liberating from, materialism or other things might be different, and my way of liberating might be different things. I mean, honestly, like, as I said, fashion is a very materialistic thing, right? At the end of the day, it's very materialistic. And I feel liberated whenever I see my models in a dress or whenever I make a dress for a woman, because I feel liberated the moment when she feels pretty in my dress. Even though fashion is a very, very materialistic thing, I feel liberated as an artist. So my definition of liberation, your definition of liberation, it will be different. It's subjective.
So now we are coming up to more personal question. So have you gone about the meditation and yoga in your life? And what are your thoughts on it? And do you think meditation helps when it comes to liberating from your karma, because a lot of people say that meditation can help you detach from the world, and it can help you drive your way, pave your way easily throughout the world. Do you think, is it a real concept, or is it just a hallucinatory thing that people have been coming up with?
Yeah, meditation and yoga are wonderful tools of mindfulness and self-actualization and liberation if religion is not mixed with it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful tools. I practice all of them. In fact, today itself, I was reading a article about the concept of chanting. Yeah, I was questioning certain things, especially with my mother, right? For instance, like she has this practice of reciting Lalita Sahasranama every day in the morning. Yeah, and I really was like thinking, like, what is it even gonna do? Like, you're just saying certain words again and again and again. Yeah, and then I went to the psychological aspect of it. Even if you repeatedly say certain words, it could be anything. Let's say bread, right? If I keep on saying bread, 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 and control my breathing and keep my mind on it, it has the same effect as how reciting any Sahasranama or any mantra it can have on me. So I feel as soon as religion is mindfulness and meditation, I think it's good. It's good. It's great.
Would you mind elaborating more on the repetition of a word concept? How does
Okay.
it liberate?
Yeah, so you could say any particular word. Just say some word, Manav. Just say a word.
Aka?
Aka, right? Aka. So you keep on saying aka, 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 and you control your breathing with the same thing as you're doing with like normal meditation, especially in Shaivism and all. They say Om and they meditate. They keep on saying Om and they meditate. Yeah. Instead of saying Om, you say aka, aka, and you do the same thing as you're meditating, right? It technically produces the same chemicals in your brain, similar to the one which you are doing in a religious meditation, because both the things cools down your nervous system and your CNS and everything, and it produces dopamine and serotonin. Right? So saying Om and saying a car, doing meditation and the same practice has the same result. At the end of the day, the result is same. So I don't think so it matters.
Okay. So, but a lot of people claim that the effects of meditation are beyond the physical body, because in yoga itself, it says that there are different types of body, like the physical and energy body. That's a very simple and basic concept from the yoga, that people consider that they have energy body, which they say as aura. So they say it also alters the chemistry of a being on the energy body. So do you think just the hormonal change from the words would be enough to alter the chemistry of a being?
Is the energy or the aura tangible, Manav? Can you touch it? Can you feel it? Is there any statistics to prove it?
It's non-physical, but as we see that life is not all what we say. It's not all physical. Do you agree with that concept, first of all?
Okay, can you see my aura now?
No.
You can just see me, right?
But should we conclude that what we do not know is not there?
I mean, let's elaborate.
That will be the end. That will
This is
be
a
the
knife.
tag
This
of
is a-
ignorance that would be wearing, right?
This is a pen knife, yeah? This is
Yeah.
a pen knife, right? I'm here. You can see me right now, yeah? You take this knife, you slice me open, you can see my brain, you can see my pituitary gland, you can see my various anatomical branches of my brain, you can see my CNS, everything. Those things can be studied. My hormonal imbalances can be measured. It can be studied and analyzed. But can we do that with energy or aura or soul or whatsoever? So, shouldn't we be concentrating on things that we can actually control and give more importance than to the things that we don't even know that exist? Because we know our brain exists. So, taking care of your brain and your body is important than taking care of your energy and your soul. Because those things we don't know if it exists.
So I want to hear the Buddhist perspective on that. Is the Buddhist perspective a bit different? I'm sorry for that. Or is there any other way to go about it?
Go about like the differentiation
Does
between
Buddhists
physical
have
and
the philosophies of the reincarnation or souls or energy bodies?
yes, yes. In fact, we do. We do have the concept of samsara, and we also do have the concept of reincarnation. But again, it's not. We don't focus on it. We try to ignore it because it's not important. Because it's beyond our control, right? The only thing we can do is our actions, do good, try to cause least harm. So we just concentrate on those things. But yeah, we Buddhist, like primarily in Buddhism, there are two branches: Mahayana Buddhism and Vajrayana Buddhism. Mahayana is the one that spread it across Sri Lanka, the Sinhalese version of Buddhism, and then the Thai version, the Lao version. Those are like Mahayana. The one which I practice is Vajrayana, which is Tibetan Chinese Buddhism. So in Tibetan Chinese Buddhism, we do have a concept called a samsara, which is the cycle of life, where a person goes through an entire cycle till they get liberated completely. So you reincarnate yourself over and over again in the same cycle till you finally reach the final stage of liberation, and then you just go into being a void.
So, one last question and very personal question that would become.
I have a question. Can I
Okay,
say something?
please, Payal,
Yes,
go
but
about it.
Okay. So Vaishnav, right? How does social media behavior affect our karma?
social media behavior affect our karma.
Can
Yeah,
you
you
please
know about
elaborate about
some
it, Payal?
what?
Can you please elaborate what you're trying to say? Did you get the question, Vaishnav?
Yeah, I did understand.
Okay, then it's
Okay.
Yeah, like as we are human beings and we are very, we know how to manipulate people. We also get manipulated very easily. And social media does
Yeah.
manipulate a lot of things for us, especially when it comes to moral compass and ethics and principles. Social media do tell us, okay, see, right now we are kind of going with no smoking and everything like that. But there was an era which glorified smoking and everyone was a smoker, right? But right now, social media is like it's injurious to your health, so don't do it. So we are kind of going like smoke free right now. So
Yeah.
it does affect your perception, but and at the end of the day, even the people who are smoking right now, before taking a cigarette, they do know it's bad for them.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think it's about your consciousness, your personal consciousness.
Okay.
Does that answer your question, Payal?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, that was lovely. The answer was lovely. So this would be a very personal question coming up from me. Uh, I always had this whenever I try to research about it and go about it, even though I do not really have my personal, you could say, thought process about karma still till now date. But when I went about it, there is one question that was always stuck there. That where did it all begin? Where did this cycle and enigma of karma begin? Because they say that we reincarnated and we got the karma from a past lifetime as well if we look at it from the cultural perspective. But if we look at it from a very universal perspective, the very shape of our body is also dependent on the kind of, if we see it biologically or scientifically, the kinds of genes that we've gotten. But we can say it's also the kind of karma that our parents have committed, right? So we are just a result of that. So where did it all begin for a being, as Buddhism and both Hinduism believes that the concept of reincarnation is there, and we do get some fragments of our karma from the previous lifetime. So where did it all begin, this cycle, and how did we ended up here with this huge heap of karma that we are carrying right now?
Buddhism personally believes that you start your own karmic cycle in your own life.
In
And
every life,
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. right? I don't know if it's my first life or if it's my 10th life or if it's my 100th life, and I still do not know if I am truly liberated. And to be very honest, I don't think so. I am self-actualized or liberated, right? I do know things that I'm doing that are bad, and I am aware that I'm doing bad. So I'm not my 100% good self, and I am aware of it. So maybe I might get reincarnated to be a better version. I don't know. Maybe. But maybe not. What if it's just nothing? Very nihilistic. Nothing matters. Nothing is really there. You just live and then you die. Maybe. But maybe not. So it's still a question that I still. Honestly, Madhav, it still keeps me awake at night certain times, at 3 a.m. thinking about this question, like how did it all started, or am I going in the right direction and stuff like that. It still keeps me awake and gives me existential crisis. So I myself hasn't really figured it out. So I don't think so I can give you a right answer.
Yeah, because when I went on researching about it, I got to know that as the evolution process began, because we all know we didn't land from anywhere, and not an old man came up and they just made us land over there. It all went on as the time began. So we went on through the evolutionary process, and then we say from the single cell organism, we went on becoming this very sophisticated being that we are. And as we go about it in yoga, I'll be talking about the perspective of yoga because I've been practicing it more and I've been researching about it more. So as we see from the perspective of yoga, they say that as every animal have their karma, but it's just that it doesn't actually become a heap for them because they don't have any perspectives of it. They just go about it. But as we evolve, as we turn into human beings from reptiles, then we turn into mammals, and then from mammals we from monkeys to humans. Then we started generating our own karma when we started generating the thought process, the imagination, the perspective about other. So yoga says that it all began there, but still the animal nature, the karma that animal has performed is something that we still are carrying, and which still actually affects our daily life. Because in yoga there is a concept called the reptilian brain
Okay.
in every human being.
Okay.
Yeah. So that actually lands me to the question that can this reptilian brain or this past cycles that we have from several lifetimes of the past,
This could be
would
being an
still
animal
be,
as well, right?
yeah,
Okay.
from the evolutionary process, because that's how the evolution have gone about. It's scientifically proven, and yeah, even now the karmic cycles revolve around it. So do you think all of these natures would still affect how a human being go about in the life?
Manav, it's similar to me asking you which is a better animal, a tiger or a deer. Right? Because ethically speaking, the deer is not causing any harm, right? Because it's a herbivore. But a tiger, it hunts people. It's a carnivore, right? We can't ask the tiger to eat leaves or plants because if we force him, or even if a tiger chooses to eat it, it's still gonna harm himself or herself, right? So that itself is bad karma. So in order to survive, the tiger is supposed to eat or hunt. Yeah. So according to the tiger's ethics, it's good thing. He or she needs to survive. So it's a good thing for them. I mean, harm or else you will harm yourself. So I think deep down, tiger also knows, I'm doing it good for me in order for me to survive. It's either death or it's either hunting, right? But of course, the deer is much better. But we can't force the deer to eat something, hunt as well. So that's pretty much the same thing. I mean, animals and humans are way two different species. Our right might be their wrong, right? I am personally a vegan, but I do feed my cats non-veg. I do buy fishes for them. I do buy chicken for them and everything, right? I can't force my cats to eat, like mushrooms or like tofu, right? I can't make them do that. because that's not how their physiology is. But does it make me a bad person because I'm making my cats eat fish or chicken? That's another question. But
How did you realize that you wanted to be a vegan? And what was the very personal reason why you chose it?
I personally wanted to be guilt-free, honestly. I didn't want, because we as human beings, we are omnivores. Yeah. That means our digestive tract can digest both plants and also meat. Uh, we humans are we are also meant to eat non-veg, but I personally feel like since there is an alternative where I can choose not to hurt a living being, I would definitely go with that alternative. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's a personal choice because everything is part of ecosystem.
Okay, that was all the questions that I had. If Chandni or Kajal, do you guys have any questions? Any one of you? Okay, Payal.
No, as for now, I don't have any questions, and I must say all the answers that you have provided us with are really nice, and I really got to learn.
Thank you so much, Kajal.
But
Oh,
Payal?
yeah, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
You turned off
If I do some,
Payal?
uh, okay, just 1 minute. It's okay, Vaishnav. If I do something good but with a selfish intention, does it still count as a good karma?
You are aware that it is with a selfish intention. You are aware
Yeah.
of it. That is technically bad.
Okay.
Like, good and bad is
So
very subjective according to the society, I believe. But if we are feeling guilt and shame about it, of course we are creating bad karma.
deep down, you know it's selfish. So it is bad. I mean, it's according to you. I mean, when you are doing it
Okay,
in front
okay.
of me, I might think it's okay. It's a good thing. But deep down, if it says that, I am ashamed of it, then I think it's a bad karma for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Chandni, do you have any questions? If you have
Yeah, I have a question.
from the conversation, yeah.
Uh, um, I have question from you. What do you think about a person which do a bad deeds in uh, his present, his or her present, but in present he did good work like good deeds. So does every action have already a consequences, fixed consequences? You get it?
Did you understand the question, Vaishnav?
No, Manav. The
He's trying to
audio.
say, he's trying to say that does every action have a fixed consequence, or will it be all decided about how we go about it, or if we are going like if there is any action that we are committing, is there any fixed rule that we will be ending up here? Is that what you were asking, trying to ask, Chandni? Okay, it's completely fine.
It's not.
No.
Okay. Okay. Chandni, could you ask again if that's okay? Because I
Yeah,
didn't
it's completely
understand.
fine. You should ask.
Uh, my question is, what do you think about that person did? What do you think about? Can good deeds erase bad karma? Like a person did something bad in the past, but in present he did good thing like good karma, or does every action have fixed consequences?
Oh, okay. I think I got it. So you are asking me if, like, according to Buddhism, like, whether, like, you do something bad and you know you have done it bad, right? Can we erase that bad karma by doing something, right? So it's pretty much the same thing, like how Ambani's and other people just, the Infosys people and stuff, they are like massive capitalists. Yeah. They, overwork their employees and stuff, and they know they're doing bad. So their wives basically go into charity, right? And they think that erases it, right? They think it neutralizes it. But in Buddhism, I mean, in Hinduism, there is a different perspective towards it, but in Buddhism, we personally believe that the concept of moral desert it's frowned upon. That means you're doing something with the intention of, for something that's bad, that's frowned upon. So in Buddhism, it's a big no, but I think in Hinduism, it's chill. Like you kill someone and then you do charity, or you overwork people and you do charity. All good. I guess so. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay. So that was really lovely. So we'll be trying to conclude the session right now, as we will be running over time after it. So is there any feedback or anything that you would like to give? We will now end the recording. Okay, so Kajal will be editing the recording. So is there any feedback coming from you, Vaishnav? Very
Hmm.
informal. Okay, yeah, just as we talk, yeah.
Is the call still recorded?
No, we will edit this part, okay?
I mean,
Yeah, you can stop recording it, but we'll still edit it if it's still there, okay? Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
just stop it, Kajal. Just stop it.
Are you